I'd now like to introduce your speaker for today, Holly Bunting. Holly Spencer Bunting is a partner in Mayer Brown's Washington, D.C. office and a member of the Consumer Financial Services Group. She practices in the areas of residential mortgage banking and consumer finance and concentrates on issues of federal and state regulatory compliance and enforcement. Holly focuses particular attention on advising mortgage companies and settlement agents on the TILA-RESPA integrated disclosure regulations and predecessor disclosure requirements. Holly, please begin your presentation.
Thank you. Good afternoon from Washington, D.C. Thanks for joining us today. I'm sure that many of you on the call have been living and breathing TRID for a few years now, and you're well acquainted with how we got to where we are and the various issues that continue to plague lenders. So before we jump into the CFPB's Notice of Proposed Rulemaking to make some clarifications and changes to the TRID regulation, let's take just a minute to review how we got here and what's been happening. So it's hard to believe, but it's already been a year and a half since the TRID regulations governing the loan estimate and the closing disclosure took effect. And at this point, mortgage lenders and settlement agents have settled into a groove with these disclosures, and unfortunately that groove includes a lot of workarounds that folks have had to put into place to make the disclosures work when the regulations were not completely clear about how particular issues should be handled, or there were technology glitches that were difficult to work through because of the lack of guidance in the regulations. So of course that's left a lot of disclosure questions unanswered, and it's left lenders leery about the kind of liability that could attach to them based on disclosure issues where there's not clear guidance. So really since the effective date and over the years while lenders were implementing these rules, lenders and settlement agents have been repeatedly asking the CFPB for regulatory amendments and for more formal guidance to help them work through some of these disclosure questions, and then, of course, reduce the liability that currently exists where there's ambiguity. The CFPB was listening, and certainly while they didn't address every issue that lenders have been concerned about, when they issued this Notice of Proposed Rulemaking back in 2016, it did clarify many of the issues that the industry has been concerned about over the years. We're going to take another quick step back and really look at the history of this particular regulation before we dive into the details of this Notice of Proposed Rulemaking.